Alright, in this video I'm going to show you how to use Google Drive. Google Drive is an awesome tool. It's free. You can access it anywhere with the internet. You should be in Chrome because it's Google, and Google is always going to work better with Google Chrome. If you are using the little E with the circle around it, that's Internet Explorer. That's not Chrome. If you're using the little E with a jagged edge, that's called Edge. That's not Chrome. Chrome has the little colorful circle. So you need to make sure that you're using Chrome. If you have Google as your home page, then you're already where you need to be, and you'll see a little login or sign in or something over here if you're not signed into your Gmail account. If you don't have a Gmail account, then you should create one, because you will have endless access to all things like Microsoft Office tools. They're not going to be Microsoft on Google, but it's just an exact replica, but it's free. So right now, if you're at Cherokee, you have free access to Microsoft Office. That goes away when you graduate, so that's where Google will still, come in handy. This little thing we call the waffle. Once you're signed in, you should click that, and you'll see the little symbol for Drive, which is always going to be this little colorful triangle thing. If you didn't make Google your home page, do not search Google Docs, because that's going to take you to a different section of Google Drive that you aren't going to need to be in. You would search up Google Drive, the word Drive, so that you're in the right place. Again, I've seen so many people searching Google Docs, like documents. That's the wrong place. So you go into Google Drive, and then it's going to take you to a page like this. Now mine's going to be really messy because I have been using this for like 15 years. So yours will be pretty much blank, except maybe have a welcome page. If you've never used this before, if you have used this for my class, you should hopefully have a little folder that has your last name, first initial, with a bunch of stuff in it. So if you're starting from scratch, using this from scratch, you're going to go to New. If you want to create a folder, like for my class, you would do Folder. You wait for the little pop-up. And then for my class, I require you to title it your last name dot first initial or first name, and then you're going to create it. Now you have an empty folder here. You double click inside your folder. There's nothing there. You can add Microsoft Word files, you can add PowerPoints, you can add videos, you can add any kind of file that you have, pictures, into your folders or on your My Drive page. But first things first, if this is the folder that you're sharing with me, with the class, like where we're turning in, we're creating rough drafts or projects where I've told you that you have to do it in your shared folder, you got to make sure your folder is shared. So you click it and you share, and this is where you would type in my email, rbhobbs11@gmail.com. Then you should see Rachel Hobbs and send. Now, if you're, obviously I'm not going to send it myself. If you're collaborating with another student, you would share with their Gmail. Or if they've shared with you, the way you find that is obviously go over here to Shared with Me. And anything that's been shared with you will be in this file. So I have all my students' shared folders. This is where I find all your work. So again, if you've been creating all your work under this tab that says My Drive right here, and it's not in a folder that's been shared with me, then you are the only person that can see these My Drive documents here. Once something's been shared, that's when I can see it, or your friends can see it, or whoever you've shared it with, and that's when it'll be in the Shared with Me folder. So if you're just using this to like make sure that you aren't losing your Word documents, so say you tried to make a presentation for my class and it deleted itself 3 times using PowerPoint. Instead of using PowerPoint, if you're having bad luck like that, use Drive, because it's going to save automatically. You're going to go to New. Say you want to create a presentation, go to Google Slides. Slides, like PowerPoint slides. This is just like PowerPoint. It has fewer options as far as themes and things go, and little bells and whistles. It doesn't really have all that stuff that PowerPoint would have, but I'll show you some things it can do. It basically does everything PowerPoint does, so I'm just going to leave it a plain slide. This would be your title of your presentation or whatever. Then you'd put your name or whatever you want down there. You'd click over here and just hit enter. Every time you want to add a new slide, just hit enter. If you want slide forward to move the other way, then move it around. You can just drag and drop them to move them into place. You want to title it, like, Hobbs presentation, whatever it is. If you title them all Hobbs presentation, then you're going to have to look through 10 presentations once you've created a bunch in here. So you should call it what it is, but just say that's your title. Then you just start going in here and making your stuff. Just like you would with PowerPoint, you can insert pictures, text box, videos, all the same old stuff. You really don't need any of these things. You can fix your fonts the same way you would up here. All the 3 dots on anything, basically, any website. If you see 3 dots, that usually means like more. So here's all the rest of your options. If you want to align, if you want to number, bullet points, underline, change your text color, any formatting options are going to be all down here with the little dots. So if your teacher or whatever is fine with you, if you don't have to create a PowerPoint, then you could just create everything with Google Slides. And then you just present in a normal way. You just click the present and then it goes full screen. To get out, you either click down here with exit or you just hit escape. When you're done, this saves. You see how it says all changes saved in Drive. I can also click that and it'll bring me up a version history. If you accidentally totally messed up your project and you forget that you just have to push the back button and you panic, you just go up there and it'll show you all your versions. And if you did something today that you didn't mean to, if you changed something that you created yesterday, you can go to the all changes and it'll you can go back and look through it. If you want to share this with a partner, you can both work in it together collaboratively at the same exact time. You would do, like I said before, with sharing folders and whatever, you just click the share button. If you just want to share a link, it'll give you a link. You can change this to where people can edit or where they can only view. If you do can edit, that means that if you've shared it with a person from class that you just wanted them to look and see, was it okay? If they can edit it, that means they can change anything they want to in your document. If you let them comment, that means they can't change anything, but they can make comments to the side. If you just want your classmates to be able to view your PowerPoint or your presentation, I tell you have to share with people, that would be where you'd want to do the can view, because what happens a lot of times is people make stupid mistakes and will accidentally delete some of your slides and mess up your presentation. So just make sure before you share with somebody that you give them the right permissions. If you don't trust them to not mess it up, just let them only view or comment. If you are done and you have everything in here and you definitely want it to be a PowerPoint that you would upload to Canvas or something like that, you can either, you can copy and paste, but that would take forever. So instead of copying and pasting like you would with a Google document, that would be easier. But with a presentation, you're going to want to download. So you go to File, Download as PowerPoint, and then the actual PowerPoint app is going to pull up and you just double click it and you can go in here. If you didn't like those themes, the theme options that Google gives you, but you like the PowerPoint options or you're more comfortable with PowerPoint, it'll pop up like this. You're going to obviously enable editing so that you can edit. And then you can continue your work like polishing it up in PowerPoint. I obviously don't have anything in here. The purpose of, again, using Google Slides is because all too often I hear students complaining about their PowerPoint presentations getting deleted. They worked on it for hours and it got deleted. They went to try to find their file and it wasn't there. If you're using Google Slides to do all your work, it's saving this every 2-3 seconds. So the only way it wouldn't save your work is if you did 10 minutes of work on here and somehow it didn't notify you that you weren't connected to the internet. Then it might lose the little bit of work that it didn't catch whenever your internet went out. But Other than that, there's no way that you will lose your work on Google. It will always save it for you. So just keep that in mind when you're creating your documents. Now, if you go to if you want to create a Microsoft Word document, you would do a Google Doc, and again, I don't know why that won't go away. This is the same as Word. The problem here is the formatting is going to be different. The MLA stuff is a little off, so you don't want to worry about like MLA headings and Times New Roman and all that stuff. So let's say this was a Romeo and Juliet essay, just title it whatever. This would just be a good place to type to do your drafting. So you do all your rough draft in here, you go back in, you check your spelling, your word count, make sure everything sounds good. Once you have it all polished up, you would do the same thing here with, file, download as Microsoft Word, and then the Word app's going to pop up, and you can go in there and change your fonts and do the formatting, but the whole essay is already typed at that point. One thing to note in Google Drive is you cannot copy and paste using the right click. It's not going to let you do this without these special permissions. So you have to use the shortcut, which is the control button. It says CTRL. You click Control C is how you would copy. So you highlight your text, you hit Control C to copy something. You would hit Control V, the letter V, to paste. You would hit Control X to cut. If you don't know what cut means, that means delete. But it doesn't delete it permanently, it just takes it away, like cuts it out of your document. And then you can paste it somewhere else. If you've Controlled X'd, you just Control V to put it in the place that you want it. So if you forgot that you could just file, download as Microsoft Word, and you just want to copy and paste it into Word, you're going to have to use these shortcuts to Control V and C. One other thing, if you click this little Docs Home, it's going to take you to this weird page. So if you get to this page, you're in the wrong place. You need to get out of here, because this is it's got different formats and stuff like that, and this isn't going to take you back to your home. Your home will be on like a separate tab. So if you can't find that tab up here, like above your search bar, if you can't find the tab, then all you have to do is click this little waffle and go back to your little home, and it'll take you back home. So again, that's the beauty of Drive, and it saves your documents for years and years. If you want to move something to a different file, so if I wanted to move this over here, you just drag and drop. One thing that can get confusing is this quick access. If you're right here and you want to move this essay into your folder, it's not going to move from here. It doesn't do anything from there. This is just giving you like a preview of stuff that you viewed recently. You would have to go down here and find that thing and then move it. And if you have trouble with your mouse and stuff like that, you can't drag very well, then you can always just right click it, and then it'll say move to, where is it? Move to, right there. And it'll bring up all your little options right there, and you can move it